A deal on Dickens, who could resist? A stack of Austen, warmly kissed. Golden Age crime tales twist and turn, every page a treasure to learn. Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea, reading always feels so free.
Okay, so hi, welcome back. My name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out, and must have brushed my head against something. I need a haircut. But this is either a second part to Mom's, I think she called it Hobbies on the Bookshelf challenge. Proper name will be below. Ended up picking too many books. Whether or not this ends up getting spliced with the other video and significantly shortened or what, I'm at least recording the material. So first things first. Oh, I mentioned a mug with a happy little mug guy last time. Here he is. I grabbed him from my desk when I was getting something else. These are the tools I was talking about. This little hook can be used to fix an error. This here can be used to cable with. Handiest little tool ever. I always keep a bunch of them on hand. And I have a bunch in different knitting bags. But you guys go back over here. So these two came from the same book. Pretty sure Mom dyed the yarn for this one. I mean, I already had some that she dyed. I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, next. So these are, Mom showed a couple of these books by this particular designer, Joanna Johnson. I think she showed the Little Women Knits, which has some cute patterns, which I did make a couple of them, but they ended up not quite being a style that worked for me, so I know that I pulled back. I'm going to only knit one of them. So I do want to maybe knit, it's the Comfort Yourself with Your Music. I want to see the back of it, though. Yeah, that's lovely. Oh, I think I actually currently have that on the needles. Maybe. Oh, this was the one that I made because I think it actually has sleeves to it. I remember it wasn't actually a flattering look for me. I ripped that out to reclaim the yarn. And it's not that it's a bad pattern. I actually think it's a really clever pattern. It just wasn't one that worked well for my personal usage. But it was really a cool pattern to knit. Green Gables knit. Okay, I have knit like a ton of the Diana's hat from here. And for a long time, that's like the only hat I knit for my sister, and she has so many of these. Let me find this hat here. It's simple, it's cute. I've made it in several different kinds of weights until I designed Davina a different hat that was to her specifications. This was the only hat I was knitting her. And one time I gave her a choice if she wanted me to knit this hat or the Davina hat. She wanted her Davina hat. But this, for a long time, if I had nothing else on the needles, I had a Diana's hat. Amazingly easy, simple, and just a nice pattern to work. Oh, I also made this Anne sweater. This was a sweater that I made out of alpaca, and when I gave it to my mom, she shrunk it because she forgot that she had it there and that it was alpaca, and she threw it in the wash accidentally, and now it is way too small. I don't do as well with the open sweater look, so it wasn't a good look for me, but it was it took a lot of work and she destroyed it. That sweater took a lot. Then the Sherlock knits. I don't think I've actually made anything from this yet. And this is based off of the show Sherlock instead of the actual, like, movie, or actually actual book Sherlock. because I don't think that the deerstalker is traditionally quite that small. They did a good job getting a model who looked like Cumberbatch. You know, at least general facial and all that. I think they actually did a pretty decent job finding someone. Obviously not exact, but, you know, general. I thought they did a pretty good job. Okay, but yeah. It's mostly men's things in here for sweaters and stuff, which makes sense. I mean, there's a scarf, but it makes sense. Your main characters are men. Most of the patterns are going to be more towards guys. Okay. Then I thought I had 3 of hers, but I guess I only have 2 other of hers. So this is her Henry's hat. Her husband does the artwork. She writes the story and designs the patterns. What's nice about this is there's something for everyone. If you are a knitter and you just want the projects, you have that capacity. You get to enjoy some beautiful artwork. If you are a knitter with children, you have a storybook for your children with beautiful artwork, and you can then make them some of the things in the story. Or if you are a parent with children and just want to read them a storybook, you can just do that. So it's really well set up. It's really cute. I mean, look, really cute. It is for quite young kids, but honestly, if only for the husband's artwork. And the patterns are super cute, too. Like, let me grab the actual chipmunk here. So there's your actual chipmunk. A little bit closer up. Then you have the titular hat for Henry's hat. Just a lot of fun things in here. Now the one that I actually am currently using, Freddie's blanket. And once again, you have the adorable artwork with the little stories. And where you have the blanket, which is actually probably something that's really, I should make at some point for someone, just for a baby blanket for someone. But Freddie Platypus, I am making this for my mom. I did choose not to do the knitted on eyes because this is not for a child. But we'll take it off. So here's my mom's platypus thus far. Really cute. Still actively working on his second arm. Holes for his leg. Well, that's his tail there. Holes for his legs. Hole for his tail. This will be for his overalls. I need to get back to work on this. He's really cute and been a lot of fun to make so far. I ended up photocopying the patterns. That way I wouldn't have to worry about damaging the binding for this because it is a beautiful book. Then next, I've used this, which fell. Several donuts. There we go. Stay. So this here, it's not that I use this to actually design. I use this to, it has tools to help you figure out, first of all, what your particular body type is, and then it helps you with the math for shaping for sweaters. So I had a sweater that I wanted to make. That was just a straight up and down sweater that I wanted to shape a bit more. So I used this book to help me with shaping the sweater and making a less fitted sweater more fitted. So yeah, I did get some use out of this. I think I also had hoped maybe to slide into sweater design at some point. I never did, but it is here. There's a lot of math involved, so I don't necessarily have the brain power anymore. Because any of this kind of designing, any of the knitwear, crochet, anything beyond like a simple baby blanket or a stole, that kind of thing is going, most of those things are going to require a decent amount of math to them. Let's see, speaking of my designing books, all my designing tool books. This one I definitely have used for all the Christmas stockings that I've designed. I've designed a couple. Both of these. And I used aspects. Actually, I think of, I don't think I used this one as much. Or if I did, it's not been released yet. This one has more of cabling. I don't think I've actually used that one. If I have, like I said, the pattern is still in limbo because I think those patterns have been in limbo for like 2 years at least. I just want to bring up these two books again. These Mary Jane Mucklestone books, incredibly useful when I started to decide that I wanted to design my own color work patterns. This great for getting ideas. That's where I got inspiration for some of the motifs on the Christmas stocking I designed for my sister. I had a different one for her that I had. Did I design that one too? Or maybe I adjusted the other one. This one I actually fully designed for her. Wrote the pattern, heel, everything. So I just did based off of my previous experience knitting Christmas stockings that were not my design. I designed this one for my sister. I also designed using some of the influence and the ideas from the Scandinavian motifs. I designed my grandma and grandpa Christmas stocking as well. That pattern's also available on my Etsy shop. But I'm actually really proud with how that one turned out. It's got it's really cute. It's got like a man and a woman holding hands. It's very Scandinavian in its feel, but it's really cute in my humble opinion. But yeah, so I designed this one for my sister using some of the motifs in that book. And same thing for this. I love this Yorkie. This was at least got some influence from that motif book. It's probably one of my favorite Christmas ornaments I designed, although the Star Trek symbol, the Starfleet symbol, that's probably the one I'm most proud of them, because I had to design that one. Like, I had to figure out how to make that one work with nothing really to go off of except the basic, ornament shape that I've used before. So that one required a lot more in the way of workshopping. But that was designed upon a friend's request, which I don't usually do, but she's long time been with the podcast and she wanted a cute Christmas ornament for her husband, but that was Star Trek themed. So she got one. Because that friendship crossed over into real life. And then finally, I have my design notebook that I found by accident. And my designs, you actually have a sampling of them here. quite a few of the ones behind us are my designs. Because that's where I started my designing, was in crochet. So, for example, you're going to see multiple... Where are you? Oopses. There is the original sketch with my original workshopping of it. I took the basic shapes, figured out how I would build this, wrote some basic instructions for my ideas. So really, this notebook is an old notebook, because some of these patterns have been around for quite a few years. Back in there, oopsie. Then, let's see. Timmy. Well, I'm not moving the turtles, because the turtles are too big. So, you'll see the turtle elsewhere, but original sketch for that. So this is my original sketchbook. Some of them, the idea didn't work out the first time, so I have, okay, well, this is the problem. This is how I fixed the problem. That's a design that never got used. Oh, hold on. Where did I put the bookworm? This was something that a yarn dyeing friend reached out to me and said, hey, I want to do a kit. I already contacted the bag maker. I'm going to contact the bag maker. Can you design the toy? So I did this in I just gotten home from night shift, and I just stayed up all day and designed it. And there's the bookworm. This is not the original one. The original one, okay, what I do with these, and I always tell people this, that, okay, when I first developed my migraines, before I had any medication for it, they used to be so bad that it would be pitch dark in my room and everything. But the little bit of, I'd have my blackout curtains, everything, and the little bit of light that you get over the top of your curtain, that was enough to put me into tears from pain. And it's definitely under much better control than it used to be, because I am taking medicine for it. But what I ended up using these for, and this is not what I designed it for, I have 4 of these. They face each other. I think I have them nose to nose, although it's not necessary to have them nose to nose. I have them over the top of the curtains, so they block the light. So when my room is dark, really the only bit of light that comes through is maybe a little bit peeking around the edge of the blackout curtain if you happen to be right next to the curtain. So it gets really dark in my room, which is exactly how I want it. But yeah, if you have someone in your life who suffers from severe migraines, and that little bit of light that peeks, or if you're a night shift worker, and that little bit of light that peeks over the top of the curtain is enough to cause extreme agony or to keep you awake, that's what I use these for. They are probably my most useful of my designs. I am constantly using them without even thinking about it. They've been such a pain relief measure for me. Then I think I ended up renaming this one, because this was my very first idea of what the owl was going to be like, and it ended up being this instead. Yeah, this was the original idea. I changed it a lot, because originally he was going to have feet. This was another one that I just stayed up and designed this in less than 24 hours. And I was actually leaving to go somewhere, so I didn't have a lot of time to finish him. I ended up changing things later, just a little bit, because I had been such a rush to finish him. So my mom has a couple of these back here, because this was designed for her, because she loves owls. Who else is here for the show and tell? Oh, the bat. This is a fruit bat, I think. I love that there's actually a bat that has this yellow stomach and all that. He's really cute. If you see the original bat, I want to say it's a fruit bat, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. But the original one that I designed was actually in black. I ended up giving that away to somebody. But here's the design. the original workshopping of it. Pain in the neck to figure out. Mom has one back, because she's tested all my designs. She has one back there somewhere. I think I have a couple more. Oh, yeah. Rat. So this notebook ended up from a bunch of different influences. Oh, I should have brought my dachshund out if I had realized that I had him easily available in here. I thought he didn't make it to this notebook. The last one from this notebook is the American Robin. I'm actually really happy with how he turned out. He's not one that I make a whole lot because there is quite a bit to him in comparison to some of the others. Like, the owl doesn't have... I mean, he has some bit of color work, but, like, once you get past the eyes for this cat, it's not that much trouble. Same thing for the bunny owl. There's a lot more piecing. This guy, once you get past his face, you're pretty much home free. I tried simplifying some of those patterns after a while. Now, what I wanted to end with is something on my shelf that actually is not available anymore. I ended up, I think I've even taken it out. I've taken it out of the shop as well, just to make things less complicated with my disability. But even though I've hardly sold any of these, but most of the people who follow our knitting and crocheting podcast had already purchased the patterns when I first released them as digital patterns, or they had tested them originally, so they already had the patterns from when I, wrote it, and they would test knit or crochet them for me. So I did put together the tortoise versus hare one, because that was a knit along we had for the longest time. All of them come with oops, I have a correction that I made a mistake on one of the patterns, forgot to put in some detail. So there's a little correction bookmark that I had put in it. But I have 3 of them that I don't need. And all of our viewers from the knitting podcast pretty much have the patterns. And the ones who wanted the book have them already. So if anybody wants one, I don't mind sending them out. You don't have to buy them or anything like that. It's just, I'm willing. They're a mixture of crochet and knit patterns. Does this one have 2 bookmarks in it? Okay, well that's not fair. You don't get to have both of them. I want one of the colored bookmarks if there's 2 of them in here. You don't get to get them both. Oh, do I have 2 in every one? Sorry, I don't remember if I put 2 in every book, in every pattern book. Let's see. Oh, they do all get 2. Okay, all right, let me put that back where I found it. I think I have it with the actual beginning. So there it is. Okay, so each of them has 2 of these correction bookmarks in it. And so it has, how many patterns? I've got 9 patterns in here, which includes the biddy, which I have an example of one of Mom's biddies here. I think this one's all beaten up because he's been around for a while. Stay. This was her original test biddy, I think. And then I have my color work cow. Remember the last video I was talking about the difference between double knitting and normal stranded knitting? This is what normal stranded knitting looks like. So you'll see the strands in the back. With double knitting, which I have not done that skill yet, it'll just be flipped colors, but it will look as smooth as this. You won't have all these strands. But turn inside out any colorwork sweater that you own, whether or not it's store-bought or whatever, it's the part that's colorwork across the top usually. Sometimes they'll have it across the bottom or the sleeves. They'll look like this. And that's where you're always like catching your glasses or your rings or whatever when you put them on. That's what you're looking at. It's the stranding. So there's that one. Including, you know, the chart for making it. I tried to find one of my... I have no idea what I did with my bookmarks that I designed. That's a stranded bookmark. I do know what happened to the dishcloths. They're on the sink and they don't dry prettily. So, oh, Tara. This one I made from my office. The original one's in my room, but I call this one Felicia. Mom inherited her after I stopped being able to work. But my favorite part is the fact that her head are floppy. So she's probably one of my favorite ones that I designed. One of the ones I'm most proud of. And I had way too much fun posing her for pictures. I am not pulling up a Timmy to show you because he is way too big. That was one of my earliest designs, and he was huge. I have used him as a pillow before for when I would sit up in bed because I was wearing a neck brace or whatever. Oh, here's another one. I think Mom dyed the yarn for this. It's all sparkly. The silver here has got sparkles in it. Oops. So let me just fold that one up again. And this is the... Actually, I designed this one prior to doing the bunny one, the turtle love. It's not showing up quite as well because I used such a dark yarn. Oh, it's showing up better on camera than real life, I think. Oh, you know, I think I did the bunny one first because there's a lot more options in finding things bunny, like for inspiration. I ended up going, you know, using my bunny, basic shape for my bunny one, like some of the idea for my bunny one, but I had to completely pull out of my head the chart for the turtle one because there wasn't anything quite like it to use for inspiration. So yeah, I was actually rather proud of how that one turned out because that was something unique. I think I ended up giving the original away, which is why I don't have it. Oh, you know, I think maybe I gave it to my sister. Or maybe the brown might have been the original and then I gave this one away. I can't remember. Valeria is somewhere. This is probably one of my most popular patterns I sell on Etsy. I don't know where she went though, because she is not currently where I can find her, even though she's like usually sitting right here. Oh, there's one. This might be even one of the ones I made. Yeah, because this is the black one that I made. So. Okay. So yeah, these are available. I even have an ISBN on here, which makes it feel all like official and stuff. This is why I'm actually, if you look at my Goodreads profile, they have me down as an author because this counts. Which is hilarious because this is just a bunch of patterns that you can get off of Etsy by themselves. But, you know, it's kind of cool to have an actual book. I have one. My mom has one. I think I sent it to a couple of other people. Just as sort of like, hey, look, I have something in print. But this is all it is. But if anybody who crochets or knits, who happens, you know, to be in the reading audience, wants one, I have 3 of them that I can get rid of. That I found when I was looking through for my crafting books. Yeah. But that's all, I'm pretty sure. If not, it's gonna be all. Sorry for the 2-parter. This may or may not get chopped up to make it more manageable, but this one's really long too, so it might just end up being 2 videos, which is not what my mom intended when she made the challenge, but Oops. So that's it. Hope that you enjoyed the not really booktubey video. This is more like the kind of content that we'd have on our knitting crocheting channel, except that everyone there has seen all this before. Most of them quite a few of them tested the patterns before. I can't say most of them because we have quite a few viewers there, quite a few subscribers there. There's no way most of them tested it. That'd be way too many testers. But a lot of the longtime people have tested at least some of the patterns. So none of this is new to them. And they've seen everyone back here before. They probably know most of their names, their design names. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I am going to finally close this. God bless. Bye.
Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea. Reading always feels so free.